Well, hi again, everybody. It's a new month. It's May in 2024. Oh, I'm a year older. Oh boy. I'm at that point where it seems like birthdays come about every 3 weeks, I've been saying the time flies when you're having fun, and once you turn 40, it flies anyway. Anyway, one of the things I want to talk about today is exercise, and not just physical exercise, but kind of mental exercise. And some exercises are good for you, but frankly, some of them can be somewhat negative. This is especially true in certain mental exercises. What I want to focus on today is one that has plagued me much of my life, and it's what I call pushing a chain. Now, what I mean by that is pushing a chain means to engage in an exercise that expends a tremendous amount of energy and produces no real results. If you've ever laid out a chain on a flat surface and tried pushing it, you'll discover that that doesn't really work. Chains have to be pulled, they can't be pushed. So, what are some examples? Well, if you're looking for a job and you're waiting for the phone to ring, or you're waiting for that email to come in for a job interview, and you're really fretting over it, and you're checking your phone 100 times an hour, you're pushing a chain. Or let's say you're single, something I know a lot about because I was single for a very long time, and you're really hoping you'll meet that special someone, or they'll call you back for a date, or they'll give you something to do on the weekend. You're pushing a chain, and I've been guilty of that a lot, and I'm frankly I still struggle with it. As I mentioned in my last video, the famous eclipse episode, I mentioned that I was hoping to get some speaking gigs, talk to some groups, and frankly, I was hoping that more people would watch and comment on these videos and subscribe and that. It's been a slog, it hasn't exactly gone viral, and so worrying about it though is pushing a chain. It's like, why would I worry about it? Why, it's like it takes as long as it takes, and I'm grateful for the people who do watch and those who support and comment and email and subscribe. And recently, I've had a couple of people tell me they've referred others to my video, so that's really great. I very much appreciate that. But if you deal with this, and if you know a really good way of dealing with it, let me know. But one way to deal with this is to rechannel all that energy into something more productive, something more useful. For example, if you're waiting to hear about a job or a date, or in my case, maybe a speaking gig, instead of sitting around fretting about it, reach out to others and continue to explore. And if you're worried about your resume, refine it a little bit, have somebody else look at it, maybe edit it. And that sort of thing. But anyway, do something productive with that energy. Just don't sit around and stew over it. It doesn't really get you anywhere. So there are other examples of frustrating exercises, things that waste your time. But as I said, try to rechannel the energy. And one of the ways to rechannel that is to work on being more patient. I used to be a programmer, and a saying we had in the programming biz was, it takes as long as it takes, which is one of those things that would always drive project managers up the wall, saying, what do you mean it takes as long as it takes? It's not something you can put into a master schedule, Can't go back to the customer and say, hey, it takes as long as it takes. They don't want to hear it. Okay, well, anyway. But developing a sense of patience, realizing that things usually don't happen overnight, and some things really do take some time, and you can't cut them up either. Another thing I used to say when I was a programmer, and I would get pressured to hit some progress point, they say, well, you're halfway through the schedule, you should have half the work done, half of the program's written, and I would say, well, it's like baking a cake. Halfway through the process, you don't have half a cake. You have a mess, and it's only at the end that you actually have a cake. And I need to take my own advice there, because as I work on these videos, and I'm glad that some people have found them useful, and I'm always looking for ways to make them better, so I appreciate it when I hear from people. Being patient about it is extremely important. Some things just have a long time to develop, and it's always worth the wait. So at least it has been for me. It's just a matter of redirecting that energy into something more positive. So I tell you what, if you have suggestions for me on how to reduce the amount of time I spend pushing chains, I would be most grateful. So Again, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.